Alright, hello to anyone who may be out there. This is a first in my series where I will be attempting to create a smart TV from scratch on a Raspberry Pi. Now, to start, I have a fresh Debian install here that has no desktop environment that I've worked on for about 2 days now. The only thing I've really done so far is set up Xorg and Xterm to create the graphical user interface. Throughout this series of mine, I will attempt to explain it in the most layman terms as I can possibly get it to be, but the problem is that, as you can probably guess, it's not extremely sustainable to have a video where you're explaining all this Linux and tech stuff and you're going off the assumption that whoever you're talking to doesn't know anything about Linux, so you have to explain every nitty-gritty detail. I'll try to explain it the best I can, but I'm going off the assumption that you know at least the basics about how Linux may work. And with that being said, on installing from my GitHub repository here that I have shown on my screen, you will have to first make this setup bash script executable, but then you also have to run it, obviously. So this is just a really simple bash script that will set everything up and install everything. This is the code that confirms that this is the code that accepts the arguments. This is more of a test for me because I wanted to practice using the arguments aspect. And then this code right here confirms the installation. And if you type yes, then it will break this while loop and continue to install. First, it'll install Nala. I personally just like Nala because it offers a really clean and modern interface, shows you everything you're doing, so you know exactly what's going on. And then it will make sure Python is installed. It'll install the tkinter package. It will install Xorg and update Xterm. Then it will move this .xinitrc file into the user folder. This .initrc, after a lot of research, I found out that whatever is put in that file will run immediately after starting the X server. So that, and I will flip to that in a minute, but then this last one just gets rid of this setup bash script. In this .initrc, it will run my startup bash script that is in this repository folder. And in this startup bash script, it will first run this xrandr is essentially, to my knowledge, the settings of the X server. So it will first run in this output field, which is, I'm running this in a virtual environment. This will be updated, and I'll probably write this in Rust, just to have that extra layer of quickness and whatnot. Most of my code is going to be written in Rust as just a personal challenge for me. I'm a Python guy, so I want to get my I want to expand my knowledge here. So it'll first run the virtual one as an output, and it'll set it to 1920 by 1080. And this is a typo. I'll fix that in momentarily. Then it'll run that's also a typo. Then it'll run my Python script. And this Python script is just a simple tkinter application. After fixing those typos in my GitHub repository and adding the line in my bash script to make the startup bash script executable, I will now show you how this works. So this is the line that the one line command that you have to type in order to, technically 3 lines, in order to start up and install everything correctly. And I will run this now. All you have to do is yes to continue, type in your password, and it will start the install. Alright, now that the setup script and install script is finished, let's first look at what we have left. So only that repository. If I look what's in this repository, we can see that all we have left is the main.py and readme.md stuff, and we also made that startup bash script executable. So now when I start X, it should run my Python script. So this tkinter application, really all it is just a blank screen with a button up here, and when I push this button, it quits the application, as you can see here. So for today's agenda, I will attempt to create a login menu. And this is probably going to be, and I know this isn't the best option, but I'm going to find this the easiest, and I need some way to start off. So I'm going to create a login user that will log into this login user automatically. It probably won't have a password, and I will remove it from the sudoers group, just to make sure that you can't really do anything while you're this login user. And using the su command, I will have the user type in their credentials for whatever other account they may have. And after you type in these credentials, like I said, using the su command, it will log in for you. And I will figure out after that how global packages work and whatnot, but for now, login script. I will make a new video either at the end of today or the end of tomorrow to document any changes that have happened or anything that I've changed, the work I've done so far, and that's pretty much it. I will see you guys later.